Okay, this video is on domain and range, which is also with independent and dependent variables. So a little before we look at domain and range, remember your ordered pair, x comma y. Okay, domain goes with x, range just means y. Okay, so remember x comes before y and d comes before r. So domain goes with x and range goes with y. Okay, your independent is also going to be your x and your dependent is going to be your y. My independent, my x, my input, what am I putting in? And my dependent is my y, what I'm getting out based on what I put in. Okay. So this question asks, what numbers are the domain? Domain. I know domain is x, so it's going to be all my x numbers. 0, 2, 4, 8. Okay, they won't repeat them because if we list 2, it would just say 0, 2, 4, 4, 8, 8. And they're not going to do that. So we're going to look for one that has 0, 2, 4, and 8. And that would be B. Okay, domain is x, just want my x numbers. Range we know is y, so my y numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one has 1, 2, 3, 4? Ah, that's C. Okay, the table shows a relationship between x and y. Which one represents the range? So they just want you to pick out the y's. We know the y's are 3, -4, 0, and -1, or this whole column. Okay, and they order them from least to greatest, so just find which one matches, and that would be A. -4, -1, 0, and 3. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, now independent and dependent. Don't overthink these, okay? John owns a window cleaning business. He charges different prices for cleaning windows of different sizes. What are the independent and dependent variables? So what is my input? What am I putting in? And what am I getting out? So our independent or our input doesn't change. So is the independent variable the window size and the dependent is the type of business? So is the type of business dependent upon the window size? That doesn't make sense. B, is the price charged dependent upon the window size? That one kind of makes sense. Okay, let's keep looking. Price charged dependent on the type of business? Well, no. And is the window size dependent upon the price charged? No, it's backwards from that. My independent, what doesn't change is my window size. My window does not change size. It is what it is. Now the price charged is dependent upon what size the window is. So don't overthink these. Your gut will probably tell you the right answer. Okay. This one is kind of hard to see with the graphics, but it gives you a graph. And once again, it's just domain and range. So we know our x's are on the bottom, our range, our y's are over here. So the graph shows the average growth population in City Park from the years 1970 to 2000. What are the domain and the range of the data on the graph? Okay, on the graph is being the key here. We don't care just about these. We care about the graph. Okay, the domain and range of this graph. So is the domain all real numbers? All real numbers means every single number. No, because the domain starts here and ends here. So nope, not all real numbers. Is the domain from 1970 to 2000? 1970, look at my graph, to 2000. Yep, okay. Is my range from 0 to 4,000? Well, let's look at my graph. The lowest point is right here. That's maybe about 700, and my highest point is 4,000. But it never comes down to 0, so it can't be B. Okay, 1970 to 2000, we already said that's correct for domain or our x's. Range would be 700 to 4,000. Lowest here to here, yep, that one's right. The next one doesn't make sense. It actually has the domain and range flip-flopped. Okay, the important thing is not just to look at the labels, make sure you're looking at the graph. Okay, the function f of x 3x plus 2 has a domain of -1, 2, and 3. What is the range? Okay, so these are all x's. We're going to put these in and see what we get out. What will our range be? You just do them one at a time and you just pop them in your calculator. 3 times -1 plus 2 equals, well, that's -3 plus 2 gives me -1. Okay, let's do 2. 3 times 2 plus 2. 6 plus 2, 8. Okay, 3 times 3 plus 2. That's going to give me 11. Okay, so this would be my answer. So all you have to do is take your x's or your domain and put them in and you'll get your range or your y number. Okay, another one of these, independent, dependent. Nancy sells orange juice and lemonade. She charges different prices for small, medium, and large sizes of the drinks. What are the independent and dependent variables? Okay, independent variables, drink size, dependent is price charge. Is my price charge change dependent upon my drink size? I'd say so. I think that one's already answered, but let's talk about the other ones. My price charge change dependent upon the type of drink. She says she sells different prices. Her different prices are for different sizes, not different drinks. So that can't be right. Is my drink size dependent upon the price charged? No. Is my type of drink dependent upon the price charged? No. Okay, that's not a really good way for me to teach those, just besides go with your gut, what does it make sense, and try and talk them backwards. Okay, this says what is the range of the function in the graph? So really, we need to know our y numbers, right? Because range is y. So how I like to do this one is I like to go to each graph and say, okay, this is -1, 3. This is -2, -1. This is 1, 1. And this is 2, -2. Okay, so I just plotted all my points, and now I'm just going to pull my y's. 3, 1, -2, and -1. And I think that's C. Okay, so just really, in these things I'm talking about, it's really just understanding what they're asking. So they want to know the range, they want to know the y values. Range just means y. Domain just means x. Okay, and this one is like that other one. Given the domain, what is the range? All you're going to do is take these x's, because it's the domain, and find our y's. -2 times -3 minus 2. -2 times -3 is 6, minus 2 is going to give me 4. -2 times 1 minus 2. -2 minus, this would be -2, minus 2 would be -4. Okay, and then I'll do 3, -2 times 3. This is not right. Oh, no, that's right. Okay, because I did negative times negative. Okay, -2 times -3 minus 2. -6 minus 2 is -8. Okay, so really just understand that domain means x, range means y. Independent is what you're putting in, your input, your x value, and dependent is your output, what you're getting out dependent upon that independent independent variable. Hope this helps and was a good lesson for you.